The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. Now, David White.
And welcome all to another excellent edition of the Power Trading Hour. And as always, it doesn't matter where you're at as long as you're here with me at this time.
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
So what do we have going on today? Well, you put your left foot in, put your right foot out. Putin shakes it all about. He does the hokey pokey. And he walks 10 feet farther inland into his country, and everybody celebrates. So is there anything to celebrate? I didn't think he was coming in. We said that yesterday, at least now. The things you really have to watch out for are politicians and diplomats who believe their own press. So we got a new moon come the 2nd of March. I'd look at that a lot more suspiciously as a date to come in. We covered that yesterday. Anyway, we're up 59 points on the S&P cash, but I don't think that's the story. I think the story is, and not just a little bit, but a horrible volume day. I'm getting it a is it E- or an F+. It is pretty horrific. So what do we have? We have 6.3 billion shares. So maybe half the volume of the up volume. Sometimes volume is close, or maybe even sometimes it's 80%. But when it's 50%, the market is giving you a burning bush. It is telling you that something is up. I suspect why the S&P had already broken fairly strong. And confirmed a pretty big ABC to the downside. We were still kind of working on that for the NASDAQ, and I could see that happen fairly quickly. But 6.3 billion shares. We should be doing something about 9.5 right now. So, yeah, it's not just a little. It's not just sort of. This is the proverbial burning bush. Now, does it mean we're going down? Probably not. But does this mean that this is probably some kind of at best, a consolidation on the upside, and resistance really comes in at about 44.50? Yes. So we'll keep an eye on it, but I am not feeling warm and fuzzy on the day. In fact, with the volume so light, a lot of times I see reversal days in store for that. Now, maybe we're just waiting for the president to come by and sing Kumbaya, but I don't think that's really the thing either. I don't think that has a lot to do with it. We're looking at some other stuff out here. I'm just thinking that we're getting very close to knowing. It's kind of like when you were young and you'd go out and party and you get hungover and know you had to be up at 7. We're getting to that point right now where you need to go home. Maybe it's 11 o'clock, and sober up and get up for work the next morning. But everybody just wants to stay to the party just a little bit longer. Of course, we're about 2 weeks, maybe even less, with the Fed giving up any support for the bond market. They will not be buying anymore and probably will be selling a little bit going forward. It's very hard to think that bonds are going to somehow magically reverse. The last amount of money of any import, you may have the next 2 Thursdays coming into the bond market. But they've been pretty much regularly coming into the bond market for the last year or so. So I don't see a whole lot there. So when I see a TLT at 135.46 right now, I'm still looking for that gap down, and that gap Gap down could happen at any moment. And that should take us to 132-ish, 133. And what I mean by the gap down, I mean we wake up in the morning and it's gap down. Generally, all that stuff is done in the dead of the night by the Fed. They don't tend to give us suckers that trade through the normal 9:30 to 4 o'clock hour a lot of chance to get on board the love train. Oh boy! Now I'm thinking about now that song, "Get on Board the Love Train." Anyway. 877-927-6648. Email me at path@tfnn.com. I've got some questions already. The first one was Tower Semiconductor. Dave, you started talking about the Israeli semiconductor companies, and you brought up Tower in that discussion of Intel being over there. And did you know at the time anything was going on? And the answer is no. I didn't know. I knew something was happening. I just couldn't put my finger on it. Sometimes you know that there's people out there and things are being brought up in the media for a reason, that it's kind of sort of leaked, but it's not the proverbial burning bush. But we brought the Tower up and brought up a few ones. Question from somebody else earlier this morning is, why would Intel want to buy Tower? And it goes back to my discussion last week. Was it last Tuesday? May have been last Tuesday. About semiconductor businesses in Israel and how that all kind of worked out. But Intel, I think, original manufacturing back there in 1985. So why would Intel want to buy Tower Semiconductor? Well, it's a country that doesn't have a massive population, but for the people that are there, they've got, especially in semiconductor vein, have a ton of engineers with experience. We continue to lose that here in the United States because you can't build them here. The EPA will just chase you around with a stick, and anybody with a half a brain knows that it's not going to be not made. They're just going to go somewhere else. So somebody's going to feel real good about themselves, say, I put an end to that, and of course the amount of pollution or whatever happens is just going to happen somewhere else. But people with the NIMBY, not in my backyard, pretty good about running off business into other countries. And I think that Israel is such a proponent of this. They have so many people involved in semiconductor design, manufacturing, and packaging that it's a great place to be for Intel, and it helps them pick up a little bit more in that vein. And they're not going to be fighting over engineers between Tower and Intel anymore over there. And I think that's the big takeaway. Every bush is burning if you've got enough gasoline. But that's about it. We'll look at some other stuff when we come back. Beware the Ides of March.
Are you grinding in the market, but seeing little to no return? Or are you a successful trader, simply looking to make your job a little easier? Learn to take the path of least resistance with David White's powerful trading newsletter. David White is an accomplished trader whose deep understanding of technology and the markets allows him to consistently find and share winning trades. Support and resistance define the ranges in which stocks trade. By understanding these trading ranges, David White is able to find the path of least resistance. David White's trading newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, is delivered daily before the markets open to make every trading day an easy win. Visit TFNN.com today and subscribe to David White's Ultimate Trading Newsletter for $119 a month. And try all of our newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Take the path of least resistance at TFNN, educating investors.
What's separating you from the most successful men and women on Wall Street? That's right, information. Having all the information gives us the perspective we need to place the right trades at the right time. The TAS Profile Scanner is the premier market profile-based scanner. Powered by its acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner instantly filters over 2,500 plus global financial markets, such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. This powerful suite of tools leverages instant trade filtering and strategy formulation to show you emerging trades before they happen. For a limited time, you can save $100 off your first month by using the promo code UPGRADE, and you still get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Level the playing field with the TAS Profile Scanner, which you can find under the Services tab at TFNN.com. Sign up today.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
As we return, like MacArthur to the Philippines. Got a question about what do I think about Intel? Does this change much in the near term? No, it doesn't really. Tower's not that big. It's a nice buyout. A question I have is whether or not the Federal Trade Commission is going to stand in the way. They've said that they're going to stand in the way of every merger. So you just never know. Israel pushing for it. I think they're happy with it, cashing out here. Intel also thinking that it will do them some long-term good. And in the scheme of things, not a big deal. Again, not a lot of movement in Intel. So it's still got its same old problems. And starting to hear a little bit more about, well, with the pandemic kind of over and no one paying any attention to masks anymore, a la the Super Bowl, even the people that said you must wear them or we'll put you in jail or fine you won't wear the masks. So hypocrisy on display. But now that that's kind of over, will people start going back into work using those old horrible computers that they left back there a couple of years ago? And will there be a need for a lot of new PCs? A lot of people saying no. That whatever they had there before would probably work okay. Probably the biggest help that Intel and AMD are going to get on that front is Microsoft. A lot of the machines are not going to be upgradable, at least in the short term, to Windows 11. And I think people are slowly going to push. Depends on which field you're in. But let's say that you're somewhere where data is sensitive and you needed that you need the trusted platform module. I upgraded to Windows 11. I installed my trusted platform module. It took me 2 months. We talked about it last fall. I think it took me 2 months to get it. But it seems to work, and it worked fine. So that's neither here nor there. The big thing for me is watching Microsoft and whether or not this thing can hold $300 because it tried to go through earlier on the day. We're about 298, almost 299 most of the day out here. So not a lot going on in that. The downside is, and I can't, I had a couple people email me about somebody else saying that you didn't want volume to the upside. And I think, yeah, you do. Especially today, where a lot of these things are turning. Options continue to show the market is kind of broken. What else do we have? Quad 4 moves. Okay. What else? Anyway, Microsoft, you came back here, you tested the gap on 36 million shares. That was an up day at 90 million shares. So pretty good lighter volume down there. What you wanted, though, is a follow-through day to day that you did not get in Microsoft. And again, close under $300 is problematic for these big guys. But I think we're starting to see a little bit of weakness in all of these. When we look at Apple, you had 86 million shares yesterday. You got 37 million shares today. When you get to 2:30 in the afternoon, you got half the volume you had the day before. It's not a little signal. It's telling you something. Now, options kind of have been saying 44.50-ish for today. I don't know what they'll close at. We're a little bit above that 44.65. But I suspect a lot of that is tech stocks where everybody's been piling into them yet once again. NVIDIA, one of the bigger winners out here. Nice day. Better on this one. Yesterday you had 44 million, today 49 already. So that's not too bad. You came down on 60 the day before. So 49, you can probably get 60 out there. This one's looking a little bit better. Let's take a look at AMD real quick and see what's going on in that. Advanced micro devices, 135 million yesterday, 102 today, but you came down 164. A lot of these semis probably going to do a little bit better than everybody else. But the thinking, I think, or at least what I believe the market believes, is that if Russia doesn't invade the Ukraine, then China doesn't invade Taiwan. I think there's that kind of linked thinking on it. Don't always think that's the best thing. These kind of evil doers are always got kind of a thing where they always are trying to make you look at one hand while they've got the ball in the other like a magician. But nice little gap up. Again, you'd like a lot more volume in these SMHs overall. I think some of these stocks are probably going to do a little bit better than the rest. But I think within the next couple of days, it is very possible, if this volume continues as low as it is right now, that we make some kind of rollover event, not like we had on Friday, but just the continual 3 day or 3 steps back and 2 steps forward, 3 steps back, 2 steps, 3 steps back, 2 steps forward. I think we're going to start that ratcheting as the Fed starts to remove accommodations. But that's it. MU continues to be biggest. And like I said, if there was a stock out here that is the linchpin to every other stock in the market, AMD, NVIDIA, the rest, it is Micron and their DDR5 and some of the other new memory modules, the video memory for video cards. All that stuff just isn't good, and they just don't sell a lot of it. It's margin, baby. And that's all about it. It's whether or not you can get that margin on those chips. And a lot of people don't understand that, you get 50% margin and then you see 60% margin, you say, okay, that's 20% better. And that's not the way it works. It's logarithmic. 10% better on 50% margins, more like 30% more profit on the bottom line, because generally all those things don't continue to add up. So Micron, Have you got the volume we want? No, not really. We'll see how it closes too. You've got a lot of these shares on the downside, 24 to 19 million. But, 16.7 already, not as bad as it could be. So there are a lot of other reasons. More questions about the TLT. And my thought on the gap down. I don't know who else thinks that this is not going to have a bad hair day as the Fed quits adding accommodation and taking it out. We got a gap here. But I'm thinking we get a $2-3 gap in this down, and that'll tell us that the rats are leaving the ship. We'll be back in a.
Are you having fun trading the markets but having trouble finding like-minded individuals to discuss your trading and investment ideas with? Become an apex predator in the trading markets and join the Tiger's Den Trading Room only at TFNN.com. The Tiger's Den is an exclusive trading room where successful traders from around the world come to exchange trades and ideas. Join the den and surround yourself with the sharpest minds in the trading world. Subscribers to the Tiger's Den are also the first to have their questions answered live on air and can privately chat with our TFNN hosts live during their shows. Interact with other Tigers and Tigresses as they share trading ideas, news analysis, and discuss the market action all trading day. Subscribe to the Tiger's Den risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee and become part of the TFNN trading community. TFNN, educating investors.
You could be making money off the stock market. And if you're already making money off the stock market, you could be making a lot more. Check out TFNN and Tiger TV and get expert investing advice to give you the power to control your financial future. Go to TFNN.com and find the newsletter for you. Whether you're into trading gold, metals, futures, currencies, or options, you'll get advice and analysis to help you seriously get ahead. TFNN also features trading services with a 30-day money-back guarantee for new subscribers, as well as TFNN's Tiger Den Trading Room, trading software, and educational webinars for all trading levels. And make sure you check out Tiger TV for free on TFNN.com or TFNN's YouTube channel for live financial content from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern on market days. Stop watching on the sidelines while other people get rich and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
As we get back with another half of a show left, 6.7 billion shares. Again, I'm giving this an F+ on the volume here today. We do have options expiration. It does kind of show that right now they're trying to settle in around 44.50. So we're just a little bit above that. But this market's kind of been pulled several ways. Would I take my stop from being short last week? I certainly would. if it gets there. Would I get out early? I don't think so, because just about everything out here looks at least suspect at best. Apple, she said, very light volume out here. You've got this gap that probably wants to get tested. That's about 163-ish. You had a very nice day out here with 180 million shares to the upside. Came back, tested with 86. But, just overall, I don't think it's the end of the world. But options kind of pointing on Friday from this under 168. So there's a little bit of that. Now, you've got some good news coming with Apple, but that's like the 8th of March when their new products are rolled out. So I don't think maybe they start ramping it, but I think that's more like ramping it the first week of March. So I would suspect that in the meantime, maybe we get anybody that's weak-handed in this probably selling off until that first week of March. 877-927-6648. What else do we have here? We'll look at IBB. Well, we broke support. That was about 134. We went underneath it. We've bounced so far. We've pulled back a little bit. It's not doing much on today, about 1.4 million shares as we speak, to 2.1, 2.2 yesterday, 2.8 the day before that. So Doji, probably a pretty good indication of the halfway move on the way down or a turn higher tomorrow. So when we start, one of the first thing I'm going to start looking at is the IBB. If this is a little higher tomorrow, I suspect that you could see that making a little bit of an ABC back up, but still very problematic when we look at a lot of the biotechs out here. They got a big run with the vaccines and now having a bit more problems. Question about EDZ. I hear a lot about emerging markets and everybody. That's where we should be. What do you think about it? Yeah, if the markets start pulling back in the United States, can they still do well if they're in the right sector like oil or metals? Yes. If they're anywhere else, it's probably going to be problematic. You do have kind of a nice, what do they call it, an evening star, abandoned baby up here at the top in the EDZ. Remember just how much this thing has gaps in it. Most of these are not significant. They have price issues, but emerging markets are always big movers out here. You got probably another test coming at the $8.40, $8.60 range coming. So probably still another day or two as people continue to fall in. And yeah, I've seen a lot of the talking heads trying to talk people into that. Drive-by on CCJ, which we will take a look at here. You had a nice retracement. But you're right back into this big consolidation confluence range. It's not close enough to trade, but they do tend to show you where resistance is going to be. And we pretty much got into that. You had a nice spike up to 2381, and now it's kind of doing not much of anything. Pretty interesting to see it having a doji out here today, too. Again, I'm not seeing a lot out here that makes me all warm and fuzzy other than everybody trying to pile back in as quickly as they can to tech stocks. Question about Expedia. You talked about the markets being back open with what was that we were talking about? not Bed Bath and Beyond, the other one that rents houses houses out for you, or apartments. What is that? What is it? Somebody in the den will bring it up. We talked about it the other day. Anyway, Expedia, nice move up here. Airbnb, yeah. Someone called in and asked about that, or emailed. Airbnb, yeah. I do like, as I said the other day, I do like Airbnb better than Expedia. You got a lot of other problems with Expedia that don't get handled as quickly. The faucet can be turned on and off fairly quickly with Airbnb here, especially in the United States. Nice gap up. I would have liked to seen another some more volume today. We'll see what happens before the close. You're right back into a lot of these stocks, which are going to have a bunch of gaps lower, and that is probably going to be fairly stiff resistance over the next handful of days. But if you were back into the travel side of it, I'm not a big fan of thinking that things are going to flip like a light switch on and off for the cruise ships. But I think especially across the summer, Airbnb could do very well, because all you got to do is clean the place up and she's ready to go. There's a lot of other issues. So if you want to go away for the weekend, still makes a lot of sense. And, you know, I think that a lot of people are saying the Super Bowl was the Rubicon, and that everybody just gave up on masks and all the other mandates and people chasing them around. Pretty much puts an end to all of that. I don't know if I'm exactly buying that, but I think that there's at least some truth to it. So I think especially on the Airbnb, you can turn those around fairly quick. I think like the cruise ships are talking about being back to having all the cruise ships back online midsummer or late summer, getting ready for next fall. So I think there's a little bit of that. Question about Workday. Keep them coming. 877-927-6648 if you want to call in. Do I see anything else? Again, a lot of these things that had really good pandemic news, kind of pulling back. You got very light volume on the downside, you know, somewhere around 225-ish. Seems very interesting on this one. That's if the markets don't do what I do think is going on. We'll be back in a
Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
The technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Are China A shares hot or not? If you trade China A shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A Share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
And I guess we're back. I was trying to check something out during the break here. Okay, what else do we have out here that we want to take a look at? Okay. Question from Oracle. ORCL. Yeah, there's just not even getting much of a dead cat bounce today. Volume's fairly light. You know, they've got a chip shortage. Hard to say anything other than that. Until that gets better, they're probably not going to do any better. Excuse me, Oracle. Not chip shortage. I was thinking Cisco. But, yeah, this goes back to where I couldn't figure out how they got to 106. I'm still not very sure how they ever did that. This probably a lot more reasonable. They make some decent money. I'm just thinking Oracle's probably getting closer to the end of its life than the beginning, though, and continues to have some issues. Okay, question about Bed Bath & Below. Haven't looked at this one for a while. Still a lot of short sellers in it, assuming it's going to zero, and it probably is. But you want to hang around 2 or 3 years why it happens and get chased out a couple of times by the Robinhood folk, which I haven't heard from lately. But you got a little bounce out here today, and again, any kind of short squeeze gives a little pause for people. You're up on 2.7 million shares. Last high came on 9 million, so not a whole lot out here other than going sideways and getting fairly lucky. DRV. The Direction Bear Fund. No, it's not an unreasonable request. It is one I've asked for. You know, you've got kind of a bounce here. You know, you're going to have maybe 1-2 more rounds from the Fed, and then that's it. It's hard for me to think that this ever gets any worse. Let's take a little longer at it. Yeah. You got your 50% retrace off that move on the bottom. You're now out here, probably just going to consolidate for a little bit. What I would probably do is, if you wanted to be in this, I'd want to be in it along the next time the TLT gaps down, which I think is probably over the next week or so. So, if you could get into it for like $42, or if you're already in it, you stay in it and sit on your hands. Don't see a lot of reasons to get out. Okay. Thanks for that. Jay. Okay. Okay. Go through all of these real quick. Okay, and then we'll get to look at the next one. Digital Realty. Is this along the same lines, Dave? So we'll take a look here. I've been waiting for this to break for a very long time. And it has. You're back and you made a higher volume low than the last low. You blew through it with all kinds of volume. You got a little bit of a bounce here. If you're not shorted, I wouldn't come back in, but I'm thinking about 146, 147, where this double gap is probably where this thing could bounce to. And I'd take a look at shorting it. Being short Digital Realty Trust right then. A lot of people talking about margins falling in these companies, and that's kind of why I'm watching Microsoft and Amazon too. You got a little gap up in Google today. Again, volume pretty poor. Yesterday, 1.7 million shares. So far, 800,000. That gives you kind of an idea why I'm a little pessimistic about finding a lot here. Okay. Let's take a look at Amazon. Question here is, do I still suspect 2,900? Yeah. You almost, when these gaps are this big, you almost come back and fill them halfway for some reason other than another. You had 4.2 million shares yesterday. You're up on about half that right now with an hour and 12 minutes left. There's not a lot out here with a volume. Apparently, if you're going to stay short, you're going to have to sit on your hands. It is problematic. Allison asks whether what's going on with XLE out here. You got a trend line which you're on right now. Let's see if we can't pop that up here. That's on what one though? That's on the long term. You're just a little under a midterm line out here in the XLE. Volume's okay. You're probably ready to consolidate out these highs. I'm not ready to say that crude's done and it's not going to hit 100 yet. I think that that's probably coming, and probably sooner rather than later. But you may have a week out here to go sideways in the XLE before we have the next move higher. So keep an eye on that. Question on dust. Would I stay with it? Now you got higher volume down here at the lows. Hard for me to be very bearish on gold right now. It may not let the let the world on fire. You were down 20 earlier on the day on gold. You're now down about $13-14 on it. So not a whole lot on that. One more question to see if I can get to for the bell on this segment, and that's Splunk. Yeah, you had a lot of volume today. You're right at resistance levels. Again, how many of these things are going to go through with an extremely hostile Federal Trade Commission trying to block literally everything? I don't think they want anything to come through. I don't think they're going to be successful on it, but it's not going to be an easy road for any of these to be out here buying other companies. So Splunk, nice move with decent volume. no follow through today, kind of like everything I see in these buyouts these days. Be back in a minute.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Are you looking for a secured investment which pays you on a monthly basis? The Tiger First Mortgage Program may be the program for you. The best rate on a 5-year CD in the country right now, according to Bankrate.com, is paying 1% per year or $1,000 per $100,000 invested. The Tiger First Mortgage Program pays 7% per year, paid monthly, on secured, high-value, buildable properties in St. Petersburg, Florida. The investment is for 4 years, paying 7% per year or $7,000 per $100,000 invested. Your investment is secured by high-value real estate in St. Petersburg, Florida. Your investment can be anywhere from $100,000 to $500,000. Do you want to make $1,000 per year on $100,000 invested or $7,000 per year on a secured Tiger First mortgage? The Tiger First Mortgage Program may be just the program for you. The Tiger First Mortgage Program pays 7% per year, paid monthly. For more information, you can call 877-518-9190. That's 877-518-9190.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
As we return, question about Corvo and what's going on with this. Let's clean this up a little bit here. You've got a 50% retracement that kind of gave it up very quickly come out here. I would say before you would want to do anything, you want to retest the 2392 low from January 28th. One of the reasons why, I'm not a big fan right here of getting too bullish in the market. The other ones would like to see the ones that really move the indexes do a lot better. As we close the day out here, we're looking at Microsoft up on half the volume from yesterday to what was it? 36.5 yesterday. We got 16 million shares. Was it? Apple. APL. There we go. APL. Yeah. What can you say? Can't type today for some reason. APPL. Right. APA. Well, I don't know. I got a sticky key here or something. Anyway, as I said, a lot of these companies, let's take a quick look at CRM. I just got that email. Anything happening in it? A lot of these cloud companies are really starting to look rather sad. Now, you did have a little lighter volume test in CRM. You got the bounce on it. But again, you're doing about half the volume that you had yesterday. So, no, I'm not real bullish on this bounce here. Don't feel like a lot of people jumping back in. It could be a little bigger than I think. But I think staying in the medium term. Hang on for Tom O'Brien to finish up the last of TFNN's programming for the day. We'll see you tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat time.